Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome back to the Crypto Bully Bear channel. And this video is number 88. So I thought it would be appropriate to include Back to the Future. I think it's time that we start digging into the dark side of things. Everybody loves to talk about the money, and I'm going to point out a few things. They're going to be what ifs. They're not 100% guaranteed facts. But I'm just going to show you some things that are coincidental and things that line up in this movie that happen here in the world. So, I also want to dedicate this video to Brando, the crypto wizard, the crypto godfather. His channel is known as BTR, Bigger Than Race. On a quick note, this gentleman, Brando, was the only person that got back to me when I was trying to put out content. Now, when it comes to computers and stuff like that, I'm dumb as rocks. Okay? I couldn't figure out, it wouldn't let me create my own YouTube channel at the time, and I had no way to release the information that I had. And I was trying to reach out to digital asset investor and all these other big guys. I don't know, a lot of the big influencers I was trying to reach out to. I was even commenting on their Twitter pages. I was trying to even, put comments on the things that they were stating, and I got no type of feedback, no answer, no reply, just like I was a pest. But out of all the influencers that I admire, Brando actually responded and got back to me. Not only did he respond and got back to me, he listened to what I had to say, and he actually made a video on some of the content that I gave him, which I was super grateful for. That was the first time that any of my thoughts were actually on a video online. And I have to give credit where credit is due, and thank you to Brando for acknowledging me and answering me and giving me time and a little air, as well as giving up your own time to converse with me and to check out the content that I send you. And you actually made a video about it. It's called Back to the Future. So just want to say thank you to Mr. Brando for doing that, because he gave me the courage to keep pushing through and eventually make another account and get onto YouTube to bring my own content. And then the other influencers kind of just pushed me through to be like, I need to kind of share what is on my mind. So that being said, thank you, Brando, again, and let's get back to this. Here we got the dollar bill, you got Einstein, and somebody else I can't figure out who else is on the wall. You got a piece of mail up there that says past dude. You got liquidity there. You got a little X on the bottom there. General Electric. You're going to see a little flip of the switch up here. I have to play around so I don't get a copyright. Now you see these pieces of toast? Okay. There's two pieces of toast. And those two pieces of toast represent two buildings that used to be in New York City. Okay? World Trade Financial Centers. Yeah. And you see what's happening to those toasts. They're smoking, they're burnt. Okay? They're smoking and they're burnt. We knew two buildings that were like that also back in the days. Now you're gonna have to stay with me because I don't want to keep saying these words because I don't want the AI robots to be picking this up. So those pieces of toast are representing the two buildings that we had up in New York City. Okay. You seen what happened to those pieces of toast too, right? They kept trying to bring it up and down to knock it down. If you notice it, piece of toast got knocked down. Now, if you see where the can is turning, this piece right here, they're going to represent the two buildings again. Okay? And I'm going to pause it here. So I want you to notice. See, there's like a little thin piece of metal between there, and it could look like two towers, two buildings. It's exactly what it is. Okay? And if you think I'm stretching, and you don't believe me, just watch in the middle. See that fine, thin line? This thin line right there? Watch it glister. It's going to glow right in the middle. Like right here, you're going to see a little light glowing in between. Because they want you to notice that particular area. You see glitter? There it is. And it's going to do it again. There it is again. And it's on Einstein. Okay? So these are the particular things that they want you to know and they want you to see. Here, I just want to point something out. I'll probably do another video separately from this. But you see the word right there? Sex? Yeah, sex. This movie also, I believe, shows how a lot of sexual things were going to come about around this time. And I will explain that in the video. But I just wanted to show you everything is placed for a reason. Now there's all this paper around him, and none of those papers really have any type of writing on it, except for this piece of paper. And you notice how the other white piece of paper over here is covering up whatever other words are underneath it. And pretty much you can see is sex. Okay? Just a little bonus there. Just wanted to show you why they do the things they do and how they do the things they do. And for all the people that are like, these movies are just nothing but to entertain people, there are also separate messages in here. Okay. You got Burger King. Now look over to the right. Look at all it says printing. If you look when they turn on the store, it said printing because they're gonna printing money. Hill Street, you see how they do Hill Street? Yep. You heard those words? I'm gonna replay it for you. Listen to the words. We're talking about crypto. You don't need money. You don't need fame. You don't need a credit card to ride this train. Okay? Okay. There it says re-elect. Re-elect Goldie Wilson. Re-elect Gold. Okay? We knew that the those two towers were the financial system buildings. We know that gold was backed, well, money was backed by gold back in the days, and it was taken down. So these are slightly things that I'm showing you that in the movie, because this movie has to do with the world trade. If you want to believe it or not, it's still true. Okay. So here, see what it says here? Save the tower. Right? Save the clock tower. It really meant to say save the tower. You don't believe me? Look over here. Twin. See? Now in. Twin. save the tower. Again, save the tower. Okay. Funny over here, it says products you can trust, and then it shows you a Japanese car, Toyota. But what I want you to see is this here. You flip that, and you get 911, 911, 911. Then you got the players' numbers. You know, those big boys, the power hitters. 1, 1, 3, 13. You know they play with the numbers. And if you really didn't see this whole thing and show you how things are playing, look right on top. 19. 19. Okay? And then where it looks, what does this say? What does this say here? What were they talking about? What prices were going to skyrocket with this war? What prices were going to skyrocket? How things are planned out. 19, 9/11, and you got 13. Just something I'm pointing out. Not saying anything crazy. You know what? Also, this star here. This star has to mean something because I keep noticing that the star is kind of everywhere. And I'll have to figure out what the star means. But to stick to what we were saying, like I said, what's going on right now? What was the price was supposed to go up? You had 19 here, you got 9/11 there. And 3/11. Who knows? Maybe that meant 3/11. Let's see if we have some type of crash, or let's see if we have some type of craziness happening around pie time. 3/14 is pie time also. So let's see. Let's see what happens here. I want you to know they sit her here for a reason. And I'll tell you why they sit her here. They sit her here is because there's the number 2 again. Okay? There's number 2 again, talking about the towers. And if you can see the third eye, open your third eye. Not here. Whatever, it might be a reach, but this right here, back in the days, we would call that wood grain. Wood grain. And if you know back in the days when they were talking about the financial system and all that other shit, they were talking about the redwoods and all that other stuff. So wood is heavy into what their this whole agenda is about. And I don't know. I thought I was going to make another video, but I just wanted to point this out over here. Look at this. Orgy American style. Does that mean America is going to get fucked? Everybody in America is going to get fucked? I don't know what that means. But there sure is a lot of sex shit in here. Orgy American style. Then I showed you the other one that said sex. I don't know. It says something about new show underneath here. Then this says open 24 hours. You know what else is open 24 hours? The crypto markets. The crypto market is 24/7. They never shut down. Just pointing a few things out. Okay. Here's Marty coming home. And look at the roof. 2 towers. 2 steel towers. Remember the New Titan 88 when he was talking about the real steel? Yeah, we're going to have fun with that one too a little bit. But right now we're just talking about Back to the Future. You got 1 tower and you got 2 towers. And these towers are probably pushing out some type of signal. Maybe internet signal. Who knows? Frequencies. Who knows? But you see two towers up here. Okay? Now you see this here, right? It's upside down, but if you can see the name here, the first name begins with Sophia. Sophie. Okay? This is Sophie. If you remember the first robot, she was called Sophia. Nicknamed Sophie. When they show you robots and stuff like that, that's just showing you that automation is coming in, and with robots, we're gonna need crypto to pay the robots because these machines and stuff like that won't be taking physical money. They most likely will be downloading data, and if we turn cryptocurrency into money data, then that's what they'll be using. More robots, more stuff like that. See, they had to change that oil. When he said that, they had to change that oil. They're basically saying the black oil, we have to change the black oil that's back in regular money. And we have to change that to the data oil. Remember, they said data is the new oil. New oil. If you have to change the oil, that means you need new oil. And we've been hearing that data is the new oil. This is my perspective on that part. See what she asking? What was it, George? Bird watching? Maybe they're talking about Songbird. As we know, Songbird is another movie too. And Songbird was supposed to be one of the platforms that was supposed to power up XRP. And XRP is supposed to be the global reserve currency. And we believe this movie was talking about the global world trade center buildings. So I just found it funny that she was asked, oh, what is it? Will you bird watching? So I just found that funny. Also, she says birds watching. You see the liquor that's in her hand? It kind of looks like a phoenix. I'm not too sure. I didn't look up the image on the bottle. Just kind of looking from where I'm sitting. Just noticing that right now, it kind of looks like a phoenix bird. And she mentions bird watching as well, holding the bottle. Now here, remember I showed you those prices on the gas chart, right? The first number is 19. Now, I'm not saying they're all related, but I'm saying that there's a lot of stories now about injuries of the heart. And I just found it funny that the choice words that she uses was, my heart just went out. I'm not going to say anything is connected to whatever. I'm just finding it funny, the choice words that they use and some of the numbers that they put into the movie. And some people believe that, the C word, the C19 came about to make people fear of money and paper money because paper money is so dirty, and how we had to get rid of our particular financial buildings because we had to embrace the new financial tools that are coming in. Okay, so here it gets really tricky, and if you don't have the wits, the eyes, or critical thinking, you wouldn't even notice it. Now, obviously, they have this specific time on here for some reason, right? They want you to see it because the time changes. Now, over here, you see the red line, and it's on the number 10. Okay? Now, I have no idea, but I really found it very coincidental that this is 10, and then this number changes. See, they want you to see that. It changed to 28. And this is 10. And 10, 28. I'm not gonna say exactly what happened, but if you follow the story on the two buildings that came down, then you'd know something happened at 10:28. I'll let you do your own little research on there. Somebody kind of pointed that out, and I looked at it and kind of bugged me out. If you knew what happened on 10:28 time frame, then you'd know. Now, you see the time there? Watch the time change. Time change there, right? The time change there. All right? You see the time that he got there, right? Now this, you can see, is the same image. Now, if you flip the image, now can you see what the time says there now? 911, huh? Now remember, we went from the Twin Towers to Lone Pine Towers. Okay? What else I want to show you? Look at the pines. Look at the shape of the pines. Alright? Went from 2 Pine to Lone Pine. And we had 2 towers, and then we wound up with 1 tower. 1 world. 1 world tower. And want to make everything 1 world religion, 1 world currency, 1 world tower. All right. And where does this actually take place? Okay, you see the name Penny, J.C. Penny. I don't show you any other names around the mall or anything like that, but they definitely want you to see the word Penny. And we also know there's a character named Penny in the Big Bang Theory, just for you to keep in mind. But like I said, you take that, you flip this upside down, and you see the date you get on the time. All right. Okay. Check the time out when he checks the time on this again. Think I'm playing. Gonna get deep.
Please stop. The Einstein's clock is in precise synchronization with my control watch.
All right. His time just changed there. Now, we've seen that number before on the gas prices. And they show it here again. They showed you from 18 and then it flipped to 19. And they ain't going to flip to 20. They want you to, the last thing they want you to see is the number. Okay? And you can get, if you remove the 1, you get 19. And we know where that number comes from. It came around 2020. You just had to put a letter in front of the 19. And matter of fact, looking at this, let me see if I can widen this camera here. Now that says 19. And what else does it say? What's the brand? Citizens. What's the first letter? Starts with that. C. And what's this? Okay? You think whatever you want. I'm just pointing stuff out. I'm not saying it's definitely connected, but I'm just saying there's a lot of very coincidental stuff happening within this place.
On this keypad, say you want to see the sign of the Declaration of Independence.
1776, right? See that date? Funny enough, he mentions the Declaration of Independence, which was on July 4th of 1776. I bet you don't know what other number follows that number. What other number do you know has 1776? Okay, so we have 1776. Now you guys think I'm freaking playing. I ain't freaking playing. I'm going to crack you with this information. One World Trade Center. You see the one world. Everything's supposed to be one now. They want everything one. What's the height? How big is the building? 1,776 feet. 1776. 1776. I will smack you with the info like you don't know. And this is why you're here. To show you, not to scare you, just to show you that if you're holding crypto, you're going to be in the right place. Alright? Can't get any more specific than this. Matter of fact, let me show you something else. Remember those gas prices I was showing you? Remember that bottom number was $1.31? See that number, 131? Okay, Nashville, Phoenix. Okay, if you know that what that sign is, then you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, then do your own research and look it up. Don't play with me. Hold on, I got more to show you. All right, 1776. The Illuminati was founded in 1776. In May 1st. Ain't that funny? And where were they founded? Germany. Okay. Now, you see those pines, right? You see the shape of the pines? Okay. You see lone pine? Do you see the pine? Can you see the pine? Lone pine. And to be honest, when Marty gets there, it's actually 133, and then it changes to 134. And there, at the parking lot, what happens at the parking lot? There's a terrorist attack, right? There's a terrorist attack there. They show up at the parking lot and they shoot up Doc, and they're trying to get at Marty, and then Marty takes off in the DeLorean, and he winds up in the barn with the yellow suit. And then when he leaves and he takes off in the DeLorean, he runs over one of the pine trees. Remember now, Marty went back into the past and he altered the future, because when he was in there, they started shooting. Marty was in the DeLorean. He crashed inside a barn, and the family that was there thought he was some type of alien, so they started shooting at him, and then he took off. When he took off, he drove out of there really fast, and when he drove out of there, he ran over one of the pines. So that's why when you notice, when he goes back into time, it doesn't say Twin Pine Mall anymore. It says Lone Pine Mall. All right? Like I said before, these towers were supposed to be the global financial towers. And now we know that XRP is supposed to be the global reserve currency. You can really say that the symbols of XRP look like two broken towers in half. Just something that looks like it could be. Not saying it is. So if you know what the 2030 agenda is, they're talking about taking over farms and land and all this other stuff. I mean, it's just talks. I don't know if it's really true or not, but they talk about this 2030 agenda, taking the farmlands, 30% of farm, 30% of land, and all this other stuff. So I want you to listen to this conversation, well, what he says basically here.
I remember when this was all farmland as far as the eye could see. man Peabody owned all of this. He had this crazy idea about breeding pine trees.
About breeding pine trees. Remember, we just talked about pine trees. We just talked about those pine trees. Okay, so here, look what it says here. I just want to show you how all these things are connected. Can you read that? Radioactive, right? And it says radioactive with 3 slashes. Okay? That also can look like the XRP symbol, or the ripple symbol, I should say, not the XRP, but the ripple symbol. Radioactive, where else did you hear about radioactive? Radioactive man in The Simpsons. I'm just showing you how all these things are slightly all connected some way, somehow. You don't have to believe me, you just have to watch and open up your third eye and see what's going on. Now here, if you want to do some zooming in, here. It says Brown. Then it says JFK. And it says, it was supposed to say Hill Valley, California. Silicon Valley, we know who's there and what goes on over there. I want you to see what happens here with this terrorist attack.
Let's see if you bastards can do 90.
So yeah, I just wanted to show you a little bit of that. Show you another little scene just in case you didn't realize. Yeah, he crashes in there, and then when he drives out from there, that's when he runs over the pine and he changes it from 2 pines to lone pine. You remember this scene? Listen to what he screams. He screams, Stella! Stella! XLM! Stella! Stella! Screaming it at you. Letting you know. Crypto's on the way. Now here, I'm just guessing. You know the initiation, the initials over here. DMC. Right? That's for the DeLorean. McLaren. I wonder if this really stands for decentralized multi-chain. Decentralized multi-chain. Just a thought. Just a thought. Now here, if you didn't know any better, let me just show you how they do things in Hollywood. Okay? Like I said, you have to be open-minded. So here, we have the twin flames. Right? What else went up in flames? 2001. What else went in flames? Now, what else do we have here? I don't know if you can really see this picture thoroughly. You have the 9 here. 1, 1. What date is that? 9, 1, 1. With something going right through them. With something going right through them. Towers, 9, twin flames, and the 9. 911. Alright? What happened that day? Something went through some type of buildings, and this happened to those buildings. Alright? Let's see something. See how the flames go directly into the Atomic Kid? I'm gonna have to show you that again. Now watch how he goes. And it goes right to the Atomic Kid. Actually, I want to show you a better view. There we go. Watch how the twin flames go directly into the movie. See these flames? These flames go straight into the movie. And what is the title of the movie? The Atomic Kid. If you remember, in part 3, Back to the Future part 3, Marty had an outfit on, a cowboy outfit on. And his costume was actually called the Atomic Costume, the Atomic Kid, whatever you want to call it. So remember I said that DeLorean had DMC. Now, I really have no idea. This is just my own thought. I thought about this myself. That maybe the DeLorean might be representing Cosmos, maybe. Decentralized multi-chain. We know that Cosmos is trying to be that. And if I remember correctly, in my second video, I got to go back and watch it, I think I talk about the flux capacitor and something that kind of lines up and looks like Cosmos, if I'm not mistaken. So, let's just stick with, I was just trying to show you before, and I showed you the 9/11 thing with the flames and everything like that also. And I'm just going to show you one last thing, because this video is taking quite a while. Look at, they even show you a little bit of the future. See how there's no door handles there? She can't get out because everything is smart. You need biometrics to get into the house, either your fingerprint. Well, yeah, I didn't show you the part, but the cops found her in the alleyway and then they brought her home. They knew where she lived. And they used her fingerprint and to open the door. But now she doesn't know any better. If you can see right on the wall, that is the fingerprint scanner to scan out. But she doesn't realize it because she's in the future. She's from 85. Right now they're in 2015 from 1985. So they're 30 years ahead of time.